magnificent Creation Museum. This is in Kentucky, and we have the pleasure of having Patrick tell us a little bit more details about it. It's an incredible place that you really want to bring your family and friends to. So, with that, please, I introduce you to Patrick.
Hey, good morning. This is the Creation Museum in Petersburg, Kentucky. I wanted to say Williamstown. That's where the ARK is. I get mixed up every once in a while. The ARK is about 45 minutes from here, but this is Petersburg, Kentucky. And the Creation Museum's been here for about 11 years. There's been almost 4 million visitors come through the Creation Museum since it opened 11 years ago. Really popular, even more popular now because the ARK has just increased the guest population so much more. So we have beautiful gardens here. There's a zoo, a petting area. You get to go through the main exhibit area. There's also a new 4D theater here, a 4-dimensional theater. So you have a 3D movie, and then your seat does certain things to you in the room, has strobes and special speakers and stuff like that. So that's really great. We have speakers here. We have other movies. We have a planetarium here also at the Creation Museum. Your ticket that you get for this is actually good for 2 days because it's really hard to fit everything in one day. If you see all the speakers and you go through the exhibit and read everything, you got to read everything to get the full effect. We do have a few places to eat here. There's the Noah's Cafe, and then we also have the Palm Plaza downstairs where you can get pizza and things like that. We do have an extensive bookstore and gift area here as well. So come on over to Petersburg.
It's a short drive from just about anybody in the country. Let's see if I remember.
Actually, that's the reason why Ken Ham and his folks actually settled here in the mid-90s, is because this area right here is within a day's drive of 2/3 of the population of the United States.
In no time, and be back, for the weekend. So come on out and see us. But in the meantime, we're going to show you a whole lot more about this beautiful place called the Creation Museum.
So what we have here is the 7 Seas of Creation. That's how the exhibit here at the Creation Museum is set up. So just follow me here. 7 Seas of history. You start with creation. You got corruption, catastrophe, confusion, Christ, cross, consummation. So we start with creation again. Right. Obviously, this 6 days of creation. We cover that. You have corruption with Adam and Eve being corrupted by the devil in the garden. Right. We have catastrophe with the flood, confusion with the Tower of Babel, and then Christ, cross, consummation. And then that's how we see it. So that's how the museum is set up, and the way Ken Ham teaches on a lot of his videos and a lot of his schoolwork, our ABCs that we have, the Answers Bible curriculum, a lot of it's set up with the 7 Cs. So you're going to see that we're kind of getting you oriented right now, but you'll see that as you go through. It'll start with creation. There's two different views. There's man's view and God's view. So how can there be? Actually, fossils are formed from rapid burial. Correct. Rapid burial. Let's say your cat dies in your front yard. Okay, what's that going to be after a week? It's going to be a dead cat, probably pretty stiff. Yep. Dead cat, and probably not smelling too good. But it doesn't turn into a fossil over time. Correct. It gets probably eaten and shredded away, and it kind of goes away, right? Correct. So, but a fossil is formed with rapid burial. That's what creates fossils. So that's what we're explaining here. But there's, fossils don't get formed over millions of years. They get formed very rapidly. So what kind of thing would cause something to get buried pretty quick? Flood. A big flood. A global flood. Total sense. Yeah.
The amazing part about this beautiful place is it really does challenge your thought process. You believe in God? By the time you get through this place, you will. You'll have a whole different perspective on life too. If you notice, one of the teachings that they look at is starting with man's word, starting with God's word. totally different than what you're probably learning in school or learnt in school. Gave me something to think about when I did some research on this place. If you look at how man thinks, they claim everything is 125 million years ago. The perspective to this place is it's only 4,300 years ago. That the flood is what actually changed the course of the earth. Now you've got the carbon tests and all this other stuff that man has designed. But is it for his benefit, or are they just trying to fill in the blanks? See, the creation looks at it totally different in so many different ways. You know, from 4,300 years ago, the animals were actually caught in the great floods and buried very, very quickly. And now we're exposing them and saying this dates back, you know, millions of years ago. Was it really millions of years ago? Or was it a short period of time ago and they got buried in the great floods? Let's continue on. It's going to be a lot of interesting stuff here. We start talking about the same universe, but you got God's world. Let's start with the Big Bang Theory. God's world, let there be light. Again, evolution of the solar system. Day 2, let there be firmament. The evolution of the earth and the moon. Let there be dry land. Day 4, let there be light. And according to man's world, billions of years ago, the evolution of the continents. Now let's take a tour into the Garden of Eden, the beginning.
The Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had created. And the Lord God brought every beast of the field and every bird of the air to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. I will make a helper fit for him. And the Lord God was not sweet to fall from Adam, and he took one of his ribs.
So the solution had to be like death.
So God replaced the fig leaves with clothes.
That's when they were building the ark. Okay, we're at the Legacy store where they have books, apparel, DVDs, gifts of all sorts. I have some amazing stuff in here. And of course, and those of you that have a sweet tooth, you have to check out Uncle Leroy's Fudge. As you can see, they make it from scratch here, and it really looks delicious. Go ahead and zoom in on this and show everybody all the delicious flavors that they have. And I'll bet you there's not even a calorie in any of them. So they've got something for everybody.
What?
They're waiting for some food.
Yeah. Wish we had some.
Well, now we're going to enjoy a little bit of time in the children's petting zoo. That's a beautiful petting zoo, and I know Gabriella is really looking forward to seeing, petting some animals and getting to know a few. So come on, let's go see what they have. Hi, little fella. Hi, guys. Don't put your fingers anywhere near them because they can bite. Aren't they cute? What do we have over here? There, he's taking a rest. There's the wallaby. He's cute, huh? And what do we have over here? We got some goats and chickens. No, they're just playing. Oh, that chicken has a toupee on his head. That little goats. Uh-huh.
They're eating fruit frozen in ice.
No, those are zebras. Actually, they're
Zebroids.
zebroids. Yeah.
A horse and a zebra. A horse and a zebra.
One's a zebra and a donkey.
There's a camel.
There. Oh yeah, right there. And it's a big one. It's a big one too.
Yeah.
Look at the little chicken.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.